Hello everyone. If you are new, hi, this is Sree. I am a third year medical student in India. Today I am going to show you all the books which I used in my first year. For biochemistry, I used Ruffy. Ruffy is so easy to understand and it has really good information which you actually need. To be honest, almost every point was important, but if you can get hand on Satyanarayana book, I'd suggest you can use it. As you can see, it's simplified a lot than Satyanarayana, and it also has MCQs, case studies, which are really useful for first year students who are writing the CBME pattern paper, because according to our university, from the 2020 batch, MCQs were included, and almost everyone knows that case studies are important because they can ask you 5 marks questions or essays, long essays. This book was really good. I definitely suggest everyone to read Ruffy. Let me know which book you have read, either Satyanarayana or Ruffy or any other author book. I'd like to know. And if you're someone who is preparing for USMLE or who wants to prepare for USMLE, according to what I got to know, Lippincott is the best book. As a reference book, and you can use it. And next is anatomy, one of my favorite subject and also the worst subject. Manuals. If you have already started first year, you know that you will need these books for dissection. These are really good, and if you can possibly know about what is going to be dissected next day, go through this book. It will be really useful. You can understand them very easily. It also has x-rays and other radiographic pictures which can help you in better understanding and also for the viva. And you also should learn the surface markings for viva, so it will be really helpful. And you will be getting a question from general anatomy for sure. According to our university, it is in first paper, so definitely read this. Let me explain how important genetics is. You'll be getting 5 marks question from it and some bits, but that's not all. If you read genetics in first year, this is the best thing you will be ever doing, because you'll be getting genetics in every year. From second year, third year, final year, you'll be having questions from genetics for sure, and also for the competitive exams. I just hope that I started reading it from the first day. Next is the most important topic, embryology. It will be useful in all years again. If you read this simultaneously when the gross topic is being taught, you'll understand it much better. Embryology is like the building blocks, and embryology and genetics are definitely the bricks. If you make the foundation strong, it will be really useful in medicine. The other subject which I totally ignored until my final exams, histology. Again, read it simultaneously with the gross. It will be easy for you this way. Next comes gross anatomy. These 2D diagrams were easy to draw, whereas Chaurashya has all the 3D diagrams which take a lot of time to learn and remember. So this was really easy for me to remember. A few diagrams might seem easy in the Chaurashya. I'd suggest you to take PDFs of Chaurashya or pics from the other friends or from the library of the only pics you can't understand in Vishram Singh, but this book is the best. These books are really the best. And make sure you'll learn every part of it. The clinical correlations were much better in Chaurashya. They're really useful, but you don't definitely need Chaurashya for it. Even this book is enough. But for diagrams, this is the best book. Even if you don't understand the topics, just go through this. You'll definitely understand. This was the best book, and I'd suggest you to get it as soon as possible. Next comes physiology. Most of my friends read A.K. Jain. I read G.K. Paul because I don't know why I loved this book. It was easy to understand. There was a lot of information which I don't need for my final exams, but this was the best book. It was easy to understand. The only chapter which I didn't read in this book was respiratory system, which I read in A.K. Jain, but I never understood, which made me to lose hopes on the respiratory part of physiology. During my final exams, I again took this book, read it, and it was best book. It has everything neatly and point wise, which helps you in remembering, and also they highlighted all the important points which you definitely need to remember and you have to present in the paper. It has again 2 volumes. I actually read my professor's notes, and I'd suggest you to listen the physiology classes properly because this is the best thing I could ever suggest you. Physiology is like my most hated subject because it was really hard for me to understand and remember this. But if you listen to classes and read the textbook as the same day as possible, or at least in a week, this will be the easiest subject. Actually, it's one of my friends' favorite subject. Not only my friends, but most of the people I know say that physiology is their favorite subject. I don't know why, but it's really good subject. And if you learn physiology in first year properly, it will be helpful for your clinicals. Anatomy and physiology are like foundation subjects again. If you don't read these properly, you will be facing a lot of trouble in future years. I'd suggest you to read first year subjects properly. Next, this is the second volume. I'm not a super student, I'm just an average student, and I only find those books which are useful, which make me understand the subject properly and help me score not good marks, but marks which I need to score. For that, G.K. Paul is the best. Even A.K. Jain is really good book according to what I heard and what I studied, but the only problem is that they give all the paragraphs, which might be hard to make them into points and read them. They don't even highlight a lot of words which we have to present in the paper. So this book was the best, and it has a lot of flow charts. I'll show you these type of diagrams which I couldn't understand in A.K. Jain, and few diagrams were nice in the A.K. Jain book. So if you definitely need another book, I'd suggest you to go to the library because medical books are so costly and not everyone can afford it. So buy the only one author book which you seriously will use. Go to the library, see those books for yourself, and then buy them. If you already bought them, the books which you couldn't understand, it's okay. You can get PDFs all the time in Telegram or online, anywhere. And Telegram is really the best regarding this because you can get a lot of books from there. Next, I'll also suggest you to get the reference books from international authors for those topics which you couldn't understand, and they also present with great books, great diagrams and flowcharts which might be useful for the exam point of view. So first year is the best year to learn a lot of things and also to enjoy, because in second and third years you'll know what the actual medical school will be like. Anatomy. In anatomy, learn diagrams. Learn diagrams. Diagrams are the most important part of anatomy, and also the clinical aspects. Clinical aspects are the most important again. In anatomy, if you learn clinical aspects, it will be useful in future years like for orthopedics and general surgery. Learn at your own pace. Don't compare yourself with others. Anatomy is the toughest subject. It takes a lot of time to understand. If possible, draw the diagrams while studying the textbook. Watch videos on YouTube. The YouTube channel which I suggest is Anatomy Knowledge, which was the best page. They explain the diagrams and also the concept while drawing the diagrams. So it was the best book. Best channel. I really loved it a lot. Next, physiology. Again for physiology, listen to the classes. Read textbook. Find flowcharts for all the topics. Might not be all, but for most of the chapters you need flowcharts, and presentation of the flowcharts is the best way to present to get marks in the physiology. I learned flowcharts, but I used to find them hard to remember, but at the end I remember only the flowcharts, so it was really the best thing, because you can't remember all the sentences in the time of exam, but flowcharts will really be helpful at that time. And also you have to fill a lot of papers, so flowcharts will help you in filling the papers too. I don't have any more suggestions for physiology because I'm not really good at physiology. Biochemistry. I'm not really big fan of biochemistry, but it was really good. Learn cycles. Everyone suggests the same things, but understand, if everyone is suggesting the same thing again and again, that means they are the most important things, right? I think if it is the same topic which is told again and again, it's the important topic. So I'd suggest you to learn cycles. My professor suggested me to write down every cycle in the book and read them again and again every day. Practicing the cycles is the best way to understand biochemistry. And a special tip is, if you don't remember any question and if you don't remember a lot of things and you know only the cycle, just write down the cycle and convert the cycle into points. just write the reactant, product, enzyme. You can make them into sentences as easily as you write. So you can present everything in the cycle and just remember them, and now turn them into sentences. This is the best way. Read textbook. As always, reading textbook is the best way to learn any subject, either anatomy, physiology or biochemistry, anything. And in biochemistry, go to the lab, because in the lab you'll be getting to know a lot of things, and this will help you in the viva or practicals. So go to the labs. Serious suggestion. I never forgot about the lab. I went out to almost every lab except when I was sick and couldn't go out of the house for like 1 month because of dengue. Otherwise, lab was really helpful for me during my practicals. Finally, histology. Embryology, genetics. These are most important subjects. I know these come under the anatomy, but I'd like to tell you that these are not a part of anatomy. These are the completely different subjects, because anatomy, according to us, we mostly concentrate on the gross part of the anatomy, and most of us don't even remember to read these from the starting. So I would suggest you to read these for the first day, because these are the important topics and nothing much. I hope this video is helpful. Finally, it's time for me to say bye bye. Also, Chenyal is going to tell you bye bye. We'll meet again after a lot of time, I guess. I'll try to upload new vlogs again and many more videos, so stay tuned. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comment section. And bye bye.